Now, let me tell y'all something off rip, okay? So you can be pissed off if you want to. All right. If you want to downvote the video, you can. Because this, I hate to say it, isn't necessarily an issue that I'm going to fight for. Like, I don't think Trump is wrong here. Just straight up. I don't think Trump is wrong here. I don't like the idea, and we're gonna get into MSNBC's article or NBC's article, excuse me. Um, I don't disagree with the idea that women cannot have their own space to be great, and that's where how I want to frame it. Women having their own space to be great. It is not fair because of the distinct, articulable uh, circumstances that they have to go through throughout life that a man can then jump in with their biological advantages, even though they're taking a suppressant. You've went through 18 years of or less. Well, let's say like normally it's around like 15, maybe 16, or maybe even on the lower end 14 or whatever. Like let's say you were taking the blockers all the way back then, but most of the most, and I mean most of the trans athletes are people that went through all 18 years of being a man, becoming a man, went through all that adolescent puberty because men keep growing into like 19 and 20, become transgender around like 19 or 20. You know what I'm saying? They were already like having the identity, but I'm talking about like taking the pills and all that. The norm for these athletes is around like 18, 19. So you have the biological advantages. You're taking a suppressant. So basically you're handicapping yourself, but you're still a biological man. So you getting banned from women's sports isn't even like, how do you not see it as a net good for women? How, like, that's where I'm at. I don't know how you could not see it a net good for women. I, and that's where I'm at with it. Let's pull up this article. So, Trump administration bars trans women athletes from extraordinary ability visas. So, this is the method in which he's using the the method in which he's using to ban these athletes from competing in the Olympics. Now, here's the thing. It ain't even that many of them. So, a lot of people use the quantity of trans women to go, hey, it's a non-starter, it's a non-issue, it's not really like it's only affecting these small group of people. Technically you're wrong, because those athletes are affecting all the women that can and will be involved in the sport. There are women that are, there's a spot taken from them because there's a trans woman competing there. That's just what that is. They're taking a spot because they're overperforming other women, which makes sense because you were a man. Like, this is what it is. That's how you. Anyway, with that being said, he's going to bar them from that. So, thus, they can't compete in the women's section, which means they can still compete with the men. They could, or not at all, which I believe they should get their own category. I fundamentally do, because when you're talking about, you have some men that are like 5'9", men averaging around, but somewhere between 5'7" and 5'9". Between 5'7" and 5'9", men are averaging somewhere in between there, and being like a buck, like 60, 70, buck 60, buck 70 muscle. Women or like 5'10". I mean, not 5'10". Like 5 foot to 5'2", maybe 5'3" tops in most of these athletic events. And they're like 120. I'm sorry. You're gonna lose. That's why they have weight categories in boxing, because man to man, if you had two men under that same scenario, boxing wise, it'd be like, hey, you can't fight him. You're in they're totally different weight classes. And some of the events are very physical in nature. You're competing against each other, like the wrestling. Or you talk about the when they have like martial arts in there, or you talk about any contact sports, it makes it very hard to advocate for it. So it said Department of Homeland Security will update visa policies to prevent transgender women from traveling to the United States to participate in elite women's sporting events. The U.S. Citizen Guidance Monday intended to bar trans athletes from obtaining extraordinary ability visas to compete in female sports, the conservative news website Daily Wire first reported. During the early weeks of the second term of his presidency, Trump, he issued an executive order. The guidance builds on an executive order. I skipped over that. I'm sorry. From his second week of his term, intended to bar trans women from competing in female sports. The guidance doesn't use the word transgender and refer to trans women. Rather, it refers to male athletes who seek to compete in women's sports. Said in a statement, the agency is closing the loophole for foreign male athletes whose only chance at winning elite sports is to change their gender and identity to leverage their biological advantages against women. It's a matter of safety, fairness, respect, and truth that only female athletes receive a visa to come to the U.S. to participate in women's sports. The Trump administration is standing up for the silent majority who've long been victims of leftist policies that defy common sense. Listen, I'm gonna keep it a band. Let me go back up here to this picture of Mr. Trump here with these girls. President Trump, excuse me. Listen, that's all those statements were true. There's no other way around it, bro. There's no other way around it. Me and Mike Tyson, we're in totally different weight classes. No matter how hard I train, if I was going up against Mike, I'd lose. I mean, even if you made it like Floyd Mayweather, and I'm technically in a higher weight class than him. If I'd lose because he's a professional boxer. Like, that's off rip. I'd lose, but I'd be able to better withstand his punches, and it'd be harder for him to knock me out because I'm in a higher weight class. If I trained, I'm saying if I trained, it'd be harder. That's how that works. Okay, this is how it works. This is logically how sports have worked for millennia. You can't turn that on its head through popping pills. That's basically what it is. You're popping a pill to suppress who you biologically are. And I'm just going to say it there. Like, your identity, cool. I can respect that. I'm not arguing against your identity. I can respect that. I'm arguing for women who are disproportionately affected by this. That's it. And I hope people are understanding this. And I want to segue this conversation to this. Liberals, liberal media, liberal pundits, liberal content creators, listen, this is not a hill you want to die on. It's not. This ain't the one. Right now, this is low-key, high-key, a distraction. Don't get distracted. Low-key, high-key is a distraction. Don't get distracted. Don't die on this hill. Let it happen. This doesn't go into effect until 2028. Guess what? If you want to fight against this, the midterms, they're around the corner. Worry about the Epstein list, gerrymandering, and then 2026 midterm elections. That's it. That's all you need. Those three things. If you want to change it, hey, midterms. Get control of Congress. You can do what you want. Get control of the Senate. You can do what you want. You can do what you want. You can do what you want. You worried about the Supreme Court? The Supreme Court ruling against you? Midterms. Pay attention. Pay attention. Handle it there. Handle it there. Conservatives, if you don't want this to happen, guess what you got to do? You got to show up in the midterms. But we all got to agree, though, that Epstein list, they got to come out. Epstein info, the files, they got to come out. We got to see it. We got to see it. That's the unifying factor here. Y'all going to argue in the comments. I know y'all are. If you liked what I said, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Give me a like. Okay? All engagement is good engagement. All right? But please don't dislike, please. Please. I'm begging. But anyway, it's very important here. And look at me. Look at me. Look at me when I say this. This is not the hill to die on. It doesn't happen till 2028. There are things you can do to change things. If you want to continue to go that way, or you want it to go a different way, there are things you can do. Lock in. Lock in. The time is now. The time is now. Lock in. Lock in. You hear me? Lock in. I'm out. Stay blessed. And protect women in women's sports.